Hello and welcome to this guide / walkthrough of Shenmue 3. Are you stuck in game? You just can't find that last pesky herb you need? Or maybe you just want to have a stress-free experience with Shenmue 3. If your answer is yes, this video is the right thing for you. Today we're gonna take a look at what I consider the prologue of the game. So let's jump right in. After starting a new game, enjoy the intro that ties the last and this game together, and join Ryo and Shenmue on their walk to Bailu Village on their search for Shenmue's missing father, Yuan.
Do you have any idea where your father might have gone?
No, I don't.
Approach the wooden bridge to trigger another story segment introducing the major threat in Bailu Village.
Did something happen?
A group of thugs tore through here 2 days ago.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, the kind we don't normally see around here.
Your little trek will end at Bailu Village Square, and after Ryo and Shenmue split up, go ahead and talk to Mao Yuefeng, who's chilling at the square as well.
Have you seen Mr. Yuan?
We occasionally to visit Zhou next door, but Zhou is likely working right now. Maybe Zhou's daughter Lin knows where he is.
Go ahead and check your in-game watch, as Ling is going to show up at 9:45 AM. Depending on what time it is in your game, you may have some time to now look around the square and to talk to the villagers here to entertain yourself.
Hey,
And who might you be? You're not a face I recognize.
As mentioned before, Ling is going to show up in front of her house at 9:45 AM. Introduce yourself to her to learn something about her father and Yuan.
A stonemason, just like my daddy?
your dad is a stonemason as well?
Yep.
Can I talk to him?
Uh-huh. He comes home at 7 at night.
The game will now introduce its time jump ability, which allows you to skip ahead in time to progress the story. But for the sake of this guide, I recommend you to not utilize it now. Instead, leave the village square the way you came and pay the Tower Gate store a visit to make some money by chopping wood. There is no special trick to this minigame, but with a little bit of practice, you should be able to get between 50 and 60 buckaroos each session. I recommend you try to earn at least 500 bucks, as it will make the game a little bit easier in an upcoming segment. If you didn't skip ahead in time, make sure to make your way to Ling's house in the village square at 7 PM. Knock at the door and learn more about the thugs terrorizing Bailu Village.
Well, get to it.
I haven't seen Yuan around. If you know anything, I'd... Huh? What happened?
Some thugs I'd never seen before showed up and wrecked my place. They asked if I was a stonemason, so I said yes. And they just went crazy.
At this point it will be close to 9 PM, your in-game curfew, meaning no matter where you are in the game, as soon as it strikes 9 PM, you will automatically be transported to Shenmue's house. Since there isn't any time and not much else to do, go ahead and use your time jump ability to walk to Shenmue's house and to be warmly welcomed by her. Ryo will share his findings with Shenmue and to decide how to progress.
I'm going with you tomorrow.
What?
I can't stop thinking about these thugs. I want to know more.
There are a few things you can do now. You can either go straight to bed to start the next day, or you can stay up a bit to examine Shenmue's belongings.
Is this Shenhua when she was little? That's probably Yuan in the back.
You could watch her cook, or have a little chat with her. These chats with Shenmue progress throughout the game, and I highly recommend you to listen to them, since they reveal a lot of Ryo's and Shenmue's characters and emotions.
Have you never seen the ocean?
Never.
Really?
I'd love to see it someday.
You should.
I'd like to see the view from Yokosuka. If I get a chance to see the ocean, I mean.
Well, I hope you do.
Me too.
No matter what you decide to do, make sure to pick up the banana and apple in the kitchen, since food is a valuable resource in this game. But let's move on to the next day. Shenmue and Ryo move out to Bailu Village, and you will have to follow Shenmue once again to end up at Marshall Hall, where you will be invited to fight against the monk Red Tiger. You can't skip this fight, and there is no real way I can help you with it. But don't worry, button smashing is an acceptable solution here. With this fight out of the way, continue following Shenmue to eventually end up back at the Taoget store to get an introduction to the herb gathering mechanic in this game and to receive a licorice plant.
If you find enough to make some medicine, Uncle Tao will buy them from you.
If you want to become an herbs expert, I recommend my Bailu Village Herbs Guide, which can be found in the description down below. Ryo and Shenmue will end up at the village square again, so go ahead and talk to Mao Yuefeng again, to be formally introduced to her and to further the plot.
Have you seen the thugs that came to the village recently?
Word has it they showed up at the Wong household.
Talk to her again to learn Wen's location. Head back to the Taoget store to have a chat with her next.
1. Did the thugs show up here?
That they did. But my husband drove them off. He's really good to have around in times like these.
To find her husband, return to the Marshall Hall and take the left fork in the path leading back to Shenmue's house.
Do you know where they went after that?
That I don't know, but I do know that there were other witnesses. A man I met at the bar was talking about it. He was a bookie with a scar on his face.
There is more walking coming up now, with the village square being your next destination. Shenmue and Ryo will split up again, allowing you to look for the scarred bookie, who turns out to be the pale toss guy in Village Square. But don't talk to him yet. To progress, it is time to further your Kung Fu level to give you more battle prowess. In this case, you will want to reach a Kung Fu level of at least 6. Skip to this time code if you're not interested in how the training mechanic in Shenmue 3 works. There are 2 ways in Shenmue 3 to increase your Kung Fu level. Increasing your attack stat by obtaining and leveling skills found in skill books, and by increasing your endurance. And you will have to do both to progress. Let's take a look at endurance first. Increasing it can be time consuming, but it will pay off later. Head back to Marshall Hall and check out the wooden dummies in front of it. The horse stance and 1-inch punch are based on button presses and have no special trick to them. All you need is time and patience. To increase your attack, you will have to participate in sparring. Look for this guy in the village square and accept his offer to spar. Sparring requires you to input your learned combos to level them up, and even peppers in some quick time events to boost your experience. Master a skill by having it reach level 11 and become a Kung Fu master. And here's another tip. Make sure to bring food for your sparring sessions, since you'll get even more experience points with a filled HP meter. Having your Kung Fu raised to level 6, approach the Pale Toss Bookie for a fight and beat him for more information on the thugs.
I'm looking for someone who's seen the thugs.
Oh yeah, those thugs. I heard they gave the bookie running the Flower, Bird, Wind, and Moon some trouble.
Your next destination is the gambling area called Joy Park, just outside the village square, situated between the Taoget store and the Bailu Village Square. Make sure to talk to at least one of the bookies to further the story.
He won't be back until at least 7 at night.
Depending on your previous actions, you may have some time to kill now. Enjoy your free time however you see fit, or just skip ahead in time. I recommend you to check out the Roll It on Top stand in Joy Park, together with my guide on how to make a shit ton of money to prepare for future segments. Coming 7 PM, talk to the bookie at the Flower, Wind, Bird and Moon stand.
I'll tell you all about it if you play around. You gotta win naturally.
You will have to do this, and it's pretty unlikely to win the game on the first try. So go ahead and bet the smallest amount of tokens until you win and collect your reward.
I handed over some money and they let me go, saying something about the Sunflower Grove.
End the prologue by returning to Shenmue's house to inform her of your findings, and end the day as you see fit.